Today we're going to run through a Jesmon BT10 deck profile. I've been really enjoying playing with this deck, learning all the combos, enjoying how it runs. So let's get into it. Let's jump into today's deck profile. So, as you can see, we're just going to start off by running the nice 4 Gurimon eggs. Now, yes, I have one ST12 Gurimon. Don't let that fool you. We're going to be running 4 of the BT8 Gurimon, just because it's absolutely phenomenal, because you just get to gain another draw if you're anything over Balhokmon, basically. Pretty simple, nothing else to debate on that one. Moving on to our rookies. We're going to be running 2 Sistermon. That's there to stop your opponent reducing any play costs. This is amazing for Digicross. For anything to do with cross hearts, possibly Bagger Army in the future, something like that. You need something that will stop the reduction of play costs. That basically means that they cannot use Digicross. You're locking out an entire feature of the game just because you have a Sistermon on the field. You're going to want to try and protect Sistermon as much as possible. Moving on to the next one. Unfortunately I only have 2 of these, but I do have more coming in the post. But as of right now, things have been working pretty basically. We're going to run 4 of the BT6 Huckmons. Now, these are amazing. You never really want to digivolve on your eggs on these. These are your searches. These are your ones to be able to get more Huckmon, more Bao Huckmon, to be able to build up your hand and ready to have your stack so that you can play that whenever you want. Then we have 4. Again, I unfortunately only have 3, but again, they're in the post. We're going to run 4 of the BT7. These are the ones that you're going to want to digivolve. Now, the main reason you're going to want to digivolve these is because of its inheritance skill, where you reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, and you're literally adding all of the sisters that are revealed to your hand. It's phenomenal. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just, it's needed. It's 100% needed because you're getting all of your Sistermon off of that top 5 draw. All 5 of them could be sisters, for example. And you've just added 5 more to your hand that you can play off of things in the future. Now we're running 3 currently, again 1 more in the post, of the BT6 Bao Huckmon. Excuse me, this is amazing. I always say amazing. Why do I always say amazing? These things are not amazing. No, these Bao Huckmon, they're imperative because it's clearing the board for you. If you're early doors, for example, and you're going to swing with the Savior Huckmon on turn 2 or 3 or something like that, you need this in there so that you can delete your opponent's rookies, or potentially even their level 4s as well, their champions, because it's inheritance. If you have a Sistermon on the field, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5000 DP or less. Why would you not run that? It makes no sense to me if you run anything else. Now on top of that, we're going to run the ST12 Bao Huckmon. Nice little card that came with the starter set. And just a nice little boost in general. Because if you have Huckmon or Royal Knight in the traits, when you're digivolved, then you gain 1000. Not only is that going to push a little further on the Gurimon, but you're also just going to be possibly creating some magic numbers, even getting yourself over that 13, 14, 15,000 DP cap that we normally see on some Digimon these days, that you can hit into security, like Death X, for example. That might save you from getting hit by Death X. And you'll thank me later if it does, because screw that card. Nobody likes that card. Moving on to level 5s. I currently only have 1 Chimeramon in this deck. However, you can run 2. Not sure what you swap out for it. Maybe one of the option cards explained a little bit later. But running 2, I'd say you only need a maximum of 2 at least. Because it's nice, because you can digivolve over, DNA digivolve over some of your Sistermons that you have on the field. Some of your Bao Huckmon, your anything really. Chimeramon is a really, really nice DNA digivolution card. It's one that I really slept on quite a bit. Also because I didn't own one, so I was trying to build decks without it. But in this deck it's really, really helpful. So I wouldn't pass that up too much. But yeah, 2 maximum, I'd say. I currently only run 1, and it's working for me. Unfortunately, we can only run one of these though. The Savior Huckmon, the BT6 Savior Huckmon. Unfortunately, Bandai have limited this to 1, but it's a very wild card, so I understand why. So it's literally when you're digivolving, just play a Sistermon for free from your hand. It's insane. It's literally like you can play one of the new CLs and digivolve straight into Jesmon all in one turn, and if that Jesmon has Blitz, then you're kind of swinging for big numbers and comboing. But also, not only that, it's literally, if you have a Sistermon in play, unsuspend the Digimon when you're attacking. You've just played a Sistermon, so you're going to be unsuspending anyway, especially if you've just digivolved off of that CL that you've put down. That's crazy to me. That makes no sense. So I understand why Bandai have limited that to 1, but we're going to run it because it's broken. Where we're then finally also going to run 4 of the ST12 Savior Huckmon. A very, very nice card. Honestly, not sure what Bandai were thinking when they made this starter deck. Or even just this card in general. When digivolving, you can attack unsuspended Digimon for the turn. Okay, cool, that's nice. You've busted the board wide open. Again, if somebody has Death X on field, and then you somehow combo into getting Jesmon GX out again, you've kind of just won. We'll get into a couple of combos a little bit later in the video as well. But yeah, and then it's also got the nice inheritance of once per turn when attacking. If your Digimon has Royal Knights, sorry, not even just Huckmon. If your Digimon has Royal Knights in the traits, you may play 1 Digimon card with Sistermon in its name without paying its memory cost from your hand or trash. And I'll be honest, pulling Sistermon from trash is phenomenal. Now we're going to get into why, because as you might see on the top there, I'm running a slightly different take now. Yes, I'm running 2 of the new the ST12 CL. That's the one that gives you reboot and allows you to have a little bit more of a search as well. That's very nice. Yes, I'm running 2 of the BT10 CL. That's the one that allows you to digivolve into a Royal Knights when played, and you also gain a memory back when you digivolve into a Royal Knights, which is insane. But I'm also running 1 of the BT7, I almost said BT6, BT7 CL Awakened. This, I don't know, I just wanted to really shoehorn it in because it's also just another delete that will annoy your opponent in the early game. It might be a 6 play cost, but if you're getting to play it for free off of Savior Huckmon, off of anything else in the future, whatever, if you're able to pull it back from trash, you're kind of set, because it's literally just stick another CL underneath and delete a play cost of 5 or less. Just straight up delete. Now combo this with the on deletion, so when she's deleted, you can pull another CL back. Say if you had BT10 Sistermon CL underneath, and you have that, and this Digimon gets deleted, you're able to pull back that CL back to your hand, so that's your digivolution and your memory gain CL. I just find it really useful. It's very, very nice. Very easy. It's a nice utility tool. Now, the same again, we are doing the same with Blunks as well. Unfortunately, I don't have 2 of the Sistermon blank blockers from BT6. I only have 1, so I'm currently running 1. But I would ordinarily want to run 2, possibly 3, just because having the ability to make all of your Sistermon blockers is insane. I've lost to it many times. Just in the Ditto as well, I've lost to it. But let's quickly jump over this. So Sistermon blank, the ST12 one, drop 1, draw 2. Nice. It's a nice searching tool, a nice hand tool. You're just able to reset your hand and everything. And again, we've just discussed the blocker, being able to make all of your Sistermon blockers. You're going to have more than enough out to be able to make them blockers. Especially the Awakened CL as well, 6k blocker. You're reaching thresholds there. And just like CL, we have Sistermon Blanc awakened. Now, thank you and shout out to one of my friends, KNT Elixir, for giving me the name of this. But it is the Jehovah's Witness loop. I don't know why he came up with it, and I don't know what, but we're naming it that. Basically, early doors, you get your Sistermon Blanc awakened out. You're able to put a Sistermon Blanc out, underneath as the digivolution source, and recovery 1. That's nice. I'm not going to argue with that. Mid-game, that's beautiful. You're recovering a stack. On deletion, return a blank. On deletion, return a Sistermon Blanc, a Huckmon, or a Jesmon back to your hand from trash. That's very nice. Again, you can just return the same one, so you can return the blocking one, you can return either one you want. But, again, with the Saviour Huckmon that allows you to pull back from trash, you can pull this one back from trash. And then because you can play one from trash as well, you can add from under. And because you can add a blank from trash as well, you're just going to be able to loop those 2 cards in and out as much as you want. And you're getting the recovery +1 every single time. So, security control, get controlled. I control my security now. Now, moving on to the Megas. We're going to be looking at wanting to run 2 Genku X's. Now yes, I have only 1 Genku X and 1 normal Genkumon. Again, I have 1 Genku X in the post, so bear with me on this. But it's nice. He's a native blocker. A nice native blocker. He can digivolve on red as well, so he works completely in this deck no matter what. Having that native blocker is amazing, but it's where you can play a Sistermon from your trash or hand without paying its play cost, and then because you have a Sistermon on field now, you're gaining 2000 DP. They can't be bounced to your hand, they cannot be bottom decked, and they cannot have their DP reduced. That's all of your Digimon on field, even including those that you're going to put out. That's kind of wild. It's kind of wild when you think about it. And just, even if I didn't have 2, and I'm just running this Genku, being able to use these effects a little bit later when Jesmon GX comes, you're kind of just set. You're kind of able to set your board up a little bit easier. Now, speaking of Jesmon, in an ideal world, you'd want to run 3 of the starter decks, but you know, let's sprinkle a bit of BT6 in there as well. BT6 Jesmon isn't that bad. It's a slightly cheaper Digivolve cost, plus you gain piercing as well, and it's basically the same effect when you think about it. All you can't do is pull from trash instead. You also don't gain the security attack +1, but that's by the by. So, Jesmon, your main boss monster, you're going to want to get into this first, before you then do this. And then you'll be able to run combos a little bit later as well, especially with the ST12, where you're able to just play more Sistermon. Your Sistermon are your real key pieces of this deck. So we'll get into a couple of combos later, but though Jesmon, you kind of need it. 3 Jesmon, because then you're running 2 Jesmon X antibodies. Digivolve from Jesmon for 0. Digivolve just off of a red 5 for 3, which is really nice. Native piercing, so you're gaining piercing no matter what. That's why you kind of don't need the BT6 Jesmon. It's because you're able to gain piercing off of Jesmon X antibody anyway. And if you're running X antibody, the option card, that's going to allow you to get into Jesmon X antibody really nice. Now, spoilers, I'm not running X antibody. Although, I might run 1 or 2. It's the situation that I had with Metal Garurumon, where it's not really needed as such. Because all your Digivolution costs are cheap, you're going to have them in hand more often than not. You're going to have effects that allow you to Digivolve into them anyway. It's not really needed, but I might run 1 or 2 just as a security case. But yeah, that's basically the same sort of effect as... It's a mix between Jesmon and Genku, where you're able to play a Sistermon and then gain 2000 for the rest of the turn. Now here's the big boy himself, Jesmon GX. I'm running 2. I suggest you do 2, honestly. You can run a 1 variant, but I'd suggest running Omnimon X Antibody instead of the other one, just so that you have 2 level 7s present, and they're both quite strong, I'll be honest. There's no reason to not run a second level 7. Jesmon GX though, absolutely wild card. It might be 5 digivolution cost, but so what? So what? You're able to gain Blitz during the turn. You're able to, not only are you able to pull a card from trash or hand, put it under the stack, activate its when digivolving effect, and then Blitz. You gain Piercing, Blocker, Security Attack +1. That's crazy. That's insane. So, like I was talking about earlier with the Gankumon and getting him into the stack, Gankumon X Antibody. You activate Jesmon's when digivolving. You stick Ganku into the stack, and you gain the ability to put another sister down, 2000 DP. You can't be bounced, bottom decked, top decked, whatever, and you can't have your DP reduced. You're able to Blitz, so you're able to swing when you digivolve. You then gain Blocker, Piercing, and because you have another level 6 Mega card underneath the stack, you're getting Security Attack +1. And even then, if you've comboed yourself all the way up from Jesmon, like this, and there's Guff in between obviously, but if you've done this, you're getting 3 Security Attack. And even then, if you've managed to get yourself up from ST12 Jesmon, and you've activated the effect from that ST12 Jesmon, you're going to be swinging for 1, 2, +3, you're swinging for 5 damage again. And not only that, if you've got the Savior Huckmon, the one of the limited card, you're going to be able to restand yourself as well, like that. If you have a Sistermon in play, obviously, you're going to be able to restand yourself and use this blocker for the turn. It's a beautiful combo, and we will get into that just a little bit later as well as we run it through. But Jesmon GX, bonkers card. No wonder it's a tier 0 dep. Moving into the options, we are not running Tamers in this deck in the slightest, but we are going to be running Quick Blast Firefather. Now, ideally you'd want to run 2 of this next option, which is from Master to Disciple. You'd want to run, did I say 2? I meant 4. You'd want to run 4 of them. However, I'll be honest, this card has saved me too many times. Quake Blast Firefather has saved me too many times. I don't want to get rid of it. Reason being, if it's in security, activate its main effect. Main effect. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 13. Yeah, 13 or less. Now, okay, there's very, very few cards that it can't get over, like Deathmon, Deathexmon, Dexmon, whatever the hell you want to call it. Stupid cardmon. Okay, it can't get over that. I'll be honest. And that's quite sad, because that's the one sort of thing you're wanting to stop these days. But Diaboromon. If somebody's playing Diaboromon like they did in my locals last week, bro, I could not get past all those blockers. So what did I do? I had to play this, unfortunately, which yes would pass my turn, but I got rid of the blocker Diaboromon straight away. And luckily he only had like 2 or 3 tokens out, so he's only getting 4 attacks at the, like, turn 4 or whatever. Right, maybe not that extreme, but it saved me. So I kind of don't want to get rid of it. Now, as I mentioned, from Master to Disciple, it is a delay card, so it does take 2 turns to activate. However, a turn 1 or a turn 2 play, it's a phenomenal card because not only are you able to search your deck for stuff that you want, for either a Sistermon or a Huckmon, or even a Royal Knight if you're close to mid-game and you want to get that Jesmon ready, you're able to search that out. That does unfortunately mean that you have to trash the other 2 cards. But, again, with all of the Sistermon and with all of the trash playing about, there's no problem in it. There's no problem in it. But then, on the delay function, instead of giving you 2 memory or whatever, it's going to reduce your digivolution cost by 1. It's amazing if you're getting choked. I keep saying amazing and I don't know why, honestly, but if you're getting choked, then you're able to changed that slightly, so instead of having the 3 cost Saviour Hawkmon going down, it's now a 2 cost, or you can stack these as well. So it could potentially be a 1 cost if you have both down. The Jesmon, from being a 4 cost to a 3 cost. Saved me many a time again. Next up, we got Red Memory Boost, your staple red card. Can't go wrong with it. Nice memory, nice searching, puts it to the bottom of the deck as well. Works the same as this, except you're not trashing it, which is a problem if most of your pieces are in that 4 card search, unfortunately. But again, you're only able to pull red cards with it, so you can't pull Sisters anyway. So it's just a nice last resort kind of search for a red card, search for Jesmon, things like that. We're then running 2 Crimson Blaze. Again, staple red card these days. 6 cost, but it gets reduced down for every Digimon that your opponent has. Delete everything with 6k or less. And your opponent cannot play Digimon by effect until the end of their next turn. So if that's hit into security, that's a couple of turns that they can't play card by effect, that is. Beautiful red staple. And finally, the final card of the deck, it's upside down, is Judgment of the Blade from BT6. It's a 1 cost, so you can choke your opponent out if need be. I've done that like twice. Wasn't worth it in the long run, but you know, choke them down to 1 when they don't have a memory tamer. It's nice. But 1 Digimon with Hawkmon or Royal Knights in its traits can attack unsuspended Digimon for the turn. Again, if we're already at Jesmon GX, for example, we pop this. Jesmon GX is already, what, 15k? Yeah, so it'll be getting over Dexmon pretty simply, pretty easily. It's just nice. If you want to hurt your opponent, if they have a big boy come in, if they have a big boy out already, you're going to want to just use that. Even then, it's security effect. You can play 1 Sistermon from your hand or trash without paying its memory cost. Then you get this in your hand anyway. So there's nothing wrong with that. I wanted to say amazing again, but that's a pretty staple card. You only need to really run 1 of, but yeah, it's not that bad. It's not that bad overall. A couple more tweaks to do on this Jesmon deck, and I think it's just the Sistermon ratios I need to figure out. But either way, give it a shot. So that was the deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed that content. Make sure to leave in the comments below any suggestions that you'd do to tweak with this deck, anything that maybe fits the meta or something like that. And be sure to check in the card in the top right. It's one of the corners, I always forget. To check out the Jesmon deck that I did the other day as well. But as of right now, I'll catch you in a bit.